I got him.
We have a location. Hornets coming away.
She's on a jet. Destination unknown.
Talk us through the worst case scenario here.
How bad can this get?
Time's not on our side.
I don't think you understand what they'll do to her when they get her out of this country.
Find a Byron, but the fallout from this is limitless.
Lioness Season 3, Episode 4 is about to change absolutely everything. And if you thought Episode 3 was intense, what's coming next is going to leave you completely speechless. Is Kaitlyn Meade really working against her own team? Has Jo already been moved somewhere the CIA will never find her? And why does the trailer show Jo looking her captors dead in the eye and warning them that she will kill every single one of them before they get the chance to kill her? Let's break down everything piece by piece, because this episode is shaping up to be one of the most dangerous chapters this show has ever given us. We left off in Episode 3, titled The Bear is Infected, with one of the most disturbing endings the show has delivered so far. Jo's plan had finally come full circle. Instead of following Alexandre's original idea to publicly reveal that the CIA had captured the Russian agent Yurimov by name, Jo pushed for something bolder and far riskier. She convinced Kaitlyn and Westfield to let the White House announce that a Russian intelligence agent had been captured on U.S. soil, but without releasing any name or photo at all. Her theory was simple but brutal. If Russia didn't know exactly who had been taken, every single person connected to that agent's network would panic and start reaching out to figure out who was missing. That panic would expose them. It was a plan built entirely on fear, and it worked exactly the way Jo hoped, but it also worked exactly the way we were all afraid it might. By the end of the episode, we cut to a flash forward that honestly made my stomach drop. Jo is strapped to a metal bed frame in what looks like a secret Russian holding facility, and above her, a television is looping that same White House press conference over and over again. Water drips onto her forehead every few seconds, an old but horrifyingly effective method, used to prevent someone from sleeping and slowly break them down. She is being forced to watch her own plan play out on repeat while trapped, tortured, and completely at the mercy of the very network she was trying to expose. And that's when it hit me. Jo's plan to flesh out the Hornets may have worked too well, and now she is the one who got stung. Before we even get to what's coming in Episode 4, we need to talk about what Alexandre revealed in this last episode because it is genuinely shocking. During questioning, Alexandre handed over a file detailing just how deep Russia and China's influence runs inside the United States. We're talking about a school district superintendent, multiple reporters, low-level government employees, and 5 sitting U.S. senators, all allegedly compromised. 5 senators. Let that sink in for a second. If even one of those names becomes public, it could set off a political earthquake unlike anything this show has attempted before. And here's the part that worries me. If any of those compromised officials caught wind that their information had leaked, they would have every reason in the world to make sure Jo never made it back to tell anyone what she knew. Now Episode 4 is officially titled Murder Hornets. And honestly, that title alone tells you everything about where this story is headed. Jo's entire strategy was built around disturbing a nest of enemies and watching who reacts. Well, the nest has officially been disturbed, and according to everything we know so far, what comes flying out of it is going to be far more dangerous than anyone on Jo's team expected. The official synopsis for this episode says a frantic hunt is launched as the team races against time. While at home, Neal is left struggling with growing fear for his family. That single sentence carries so much weight. This isn't just about finding Jo anymore. This is about finding her before it's too late, and doing it while an entire spy network scrambles to protect itself by any means necessary. And then there's the trailer moment that has completely taken over conversations online. In it, we see Jo, still a captive, staring directly into the eyes of the people holding her, and she tells them without flinching that she will kill them all before they ever get the chance to kill her. It's a chilling, almost unbelievable moment of defiance from someone who is bound, tortured, and completely outnumbered. But if there's one thing this show has taught us, it's that underestimating Jo McNamara has always been a fatal mistake, and I don't think that's about to change now. Now let's talk about the rescue mission, because everything we've seen from the trailer suggests that Jo's team is not sitting back and waiting. They are moving fast and they are moving aggressively. In the trailer, we see a tactical team storming into what appears to be a hangar, clearly searching for any trace of where Jo was taken. The problem is, based on how this footage is edited, it looks like they might already be too late. There's a private jet shown earlier in the sequence, and the layout of the room where Joe is being held, right down to the placement of the light switches, matches the room that the tactical team breaks into during the raid. If that connection is real, it means Joe had already been moved out by the time her own team arrived, which would be an absolutely devastating blow. Imagine being that close, only for the person you're trying to save to have already slipped through your fingers minutes earlier. That kind of near miss is exactly the sort of gut punch this show loves to deliver right when you think the good guys finally have the upper hand. There's also a mysterious bald-headed man who keeps appearing throughout these flash-forward scenes, and I think he might end up being one of the most important new characters this season. He's present when Joe's tracking device is removed from her body, which tells us he's not just some low-level guard. He clearly understands operational security at a professional level. He's also shown watching Joe while she's strapped to that bed, almost studying her, like he's trying to figure out exactly how much she knows and how far he can push her before she breaks. My theory is that this man is a senior SVR operative, someone high enough in the Russian intelligence chain that catching him could be the single biggest breakthrough in this entire investigation. If Joe's team can track this man down, it might not just lead them to her location, it could unravel the entire network Alexandre warned them about. And speaking of Alexandre, I want to go back to something she said that I don't think we've fully unpacked yet. She described the situation using this chilling metaphor, comparing the United States to a bear, China to a tiger, and Russia to a wolf pack. Neither the tiger nor the wolves can take the bear down in a direct fight, so instead they infect it. They spread disease slowly through disinformation, through compromised officials, through what she called honeypotting, using personal relationships and blackmail to turn trusted people into assets without them even fully realizing how deep they're in. That's exactly what Joe's plan was designed to expose, and it's exactly why what happened to her feels less like bad luck, and more like an inevitable consequence of playing a game this dangerous with an enemy this patient. Now let's talk about the family because honestly, this might be the part of the story that hits hardest emotionally. Neal has already been forced to accept something he never wanted to face, that his wife's job can reach into their own home and put their entire family in danger. After the attack outside their house, after seeing what almost happened to his daughters, there's no more pretending that Joe's work stays separate from their personal life. In episode 4, the synopsis makes it clear that Neal is going to be struggling with growing fear, and I think we are finally going to see him reach a breaking point. This isn't a man who's going to sit quietly while his wife is missing and his kids are traumatized. I expect a real confrontation is coming, one where Neal finally says out loud what he's been holding back, that he cannot keep living like this, not knowing if today is the day he loses her for good. And this brings me to Kaitlyn Meade, because something about her behavior throughout this season has felt off to me. She's always kept a certain emotional distance from the team, running things with a kind of cold, calculated precision that makes her hard to read. When Joe wanted to push forward with the press conference plan, Kaitlyn was visibly uncomfortable, and now I can't stop wondering if that discomfort was about the risk to Joe, or about the risk to something Kaitlyn herself has been hiding. Is it possible that Kaitlyn already suspected this operation would put Joe directly in danger, and let it happen anyway? I'm not saying she's working against her own country, but I do think there's a real chance she's protecting something or someone that we haven't fully seen yet. And if that's true, the fallout between her and Joe, whenever Joe makes it out of this, could reshape the entire dynamic of this team going forward. So where does all of this leave us heading into Murder Hornets? I think we are about to watch one of the most emotionally exhausting episodes this show has ever produced, not because of a single explosive action sequence, but because of how many different fires are burning at once. Joe is somewhere we can't see, fighting to survive using nothing but her training and sheer will. Her team is racing against a clock they can't actually see, knowing that every hour that passes makes it less likely they find her alive. And back home, a family that has already been shattered once is standing on the edge of falling apart completely. That's not just a spy thriller anymore. That's a story about what happens when the people we love pay the price for the battles we choose to fight, even when those battles are meant to protect them. I keep coming back to that trailer moment, Joe staring into the eyes of the people who are holding her, promising them she will kill them all before they kill her. Because underneath the fear and the danger, that line tells you exactly who Joe McNamara really is. She's not a victim in this story. Even chained down, even exhausted, even completely outnumbered, She is still the most dangerous person in that room, and her captors are about to find that out the hard way. If there's one thing this show has proven again and again, it's that you do not corner Joe McNamara and expect to walk away clean. I also can't stop thinking about those 5 senators. If even one of those names gets exposed publicly, this show is going to shift from a rescue mission into a full-blown political scandal, and honestly, that might end up being the more terrifying storyline of the two. A hidden enemy inside your own home is one thing. A hidden enemy inside your own government, sitting in the rooms where the real decisions get made, is something else entirely. And I have a feeling Joe's disappearance is only the first domino in something much bigger that's about to come crashing down. As for Kaitlyn, I genuinely don't know yet whether she's someone we should be trusting completely, and that uncertainty is exactly what makes this season so gripping. This show has never been afraid to make us question the people closest to Joe, and if that suspicion turns out to be justified, the emotional damage that follows could change this entire team forever. Trust is the one thing that keeps operations like this alive, and once it's broken, it doesn't come back easily. At the end of the day, this episode isn't just about whether Joe survives. It's about what surviving actually costs her, her marriage, her relationship with her daughters, and maybe even her trust in the very people she spent years fighting alongside. That's what makes this show so much more than just another action thriller. It forces you to sit with the human toll behind every mission, every lie, and every sacrifice made in the name of protecting a country that will never fully know what these people gave up for it.